Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For this week's read, for the main part of the read, I'm using the Astro Matrix Tarot. Here's the box. And astromatrix.org is the website on the back. Hopefully that'll focus. I don't think there was like a creator. There should have been. I don't know. Either my brain skipped a beat or it's just not there. If you go there and you want the deck, though, go there. I didn't see like a creator. It's just dawning on me now. For the support of Oracle cards, you are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back here is rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as an apple, U as an umbrella. I have updated dice. So I have a 22-sided dice I'm going to use for the major arcana. I'm using number 22 as the Fool, so I'm making that adaptation. And I get a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element it's going to represent. And mathartfun.com is the website for that one. Hopefully you can see that website if you're interested. Okay. And with that, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. And let's go on to your read. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. I'm excited about behalf of Aries. I don't know why I'm like... a lot of earth here. I don't know if I like it or not. More earth. A lot of earth. And more earth. Could be money. Let's be fair. Could be money. Earth, too much earth for a fire sign can be very, not cumbersome, what do I want to say? Stifling, stale, just so restrictive. It can be painful. It's just, that's not the Aries energy that I'm used to. Aries doesn't usually like too many boundaries. Like some earth can be beneficial to a fire, and you're a fire sign, but like if it's overwhelmingly earth, that can make things really, really heavy. And I'm getting like a very heavy energy to start with, but I feel like you got really good cards. You got the Sun card. You're working towards the Sun card. So how are you getting there is a great question. This situation it was not always this way. It was not. I feel like if you saw it this way when you... I don't think you'd be here if this is how it started, quite frankly. You knew that there was going to be some limitations and boundaries. You knew that. But I do think it got heavier and heavier and heavier over time. This reminds me of a couple different jobs where they start out really great and everything works well and everybody's happy. And it's almost like, oh, you're happy? Well, let's change some rules. I swear, it just seems like if it's going too well, we should change it. Or I've worked in corporate situations a few times, and I swear, if you're really comfortable and happy, it does seem to go into the sense of like, well, if you have enough time to be happy, you have enough time to do more work and make the company more money. I swear it seems to go that way. But what it is what it is. So this situation started really well, and it was very comfortable. I feel like it was doable comfortable. Like, there was boundaries, there was restrictions, but they were doable. Almost like, show up at this time, you can't be late, don't leave before this time. Okay, I can work with that. This has to be in this type of format. I can work with that. But now it's like so much is so regimented. It's just very heavy. To the point where I feel like you want to leave, but the question is, are you going to? I don't think you're going to. If this reading is hitting, you're thinking about it. And you'd like to, but there's something tying you to it. Because I keep getting like, should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? If I go somewhere else, is it going to be any better? That type of energy. Whatever this is, I do feel like you're thinking about it, but you're also kind of like in the same breath, it's kind of like, I'd like to, But how much do I lose? How much damage does that create? Can I rebuild that somewhere else? Um, like, is this really going to work for me? If I do that, like, is it really going to get better, or is it just going to get different? Just different. Um, you're trying to be self-sufficient. You're trying to find a different way. Whatever this is, it's really important. You are doing everything you can to find a different way. Seven of Swords. You're trying to hold the line and keep it together. The Seven of Swords is in and out, and so is the Magician. This is a very important situation to you. This is definitely, to me, feeling more mature Aries, in the sense of, like, you know yourself. You gotta be careful of certain conversations. You gotta be careful about what you talk about with certain people, because if they ask you a point blank question, you'll tell them, and with a little bit of flavor to it. So it's kind of like, okay, I have my opinion. They're not gonna go well with that opinion. I just gotta, you know. This reminds me of a person. I'm trying to say things nicely, but it does aggravate me. I used to work with this person, and they just wanted me to tell them what they wanted to hear, and I was just not that person. So I would just try not to talk with them, or I would talk about anything but the actual job. Anything I could, and just try to drain out the time, and just so I could get away from them, because I knew if I said what I really felt, it was going to go against me. It was going to, and I'm just like, they want me to pretend like I agree with them, pretend like they're right, and I don't have it in me. I just don't have it within me, so I'd either avoid them or talk about anything I could and drain out the time as much as possible, and then go, oh, I gotta go get this done. I gotta go, and just run. Because that's the best I could do, because I'm like, I'm not gonna tell them what they want to hear. I just don't have it in me. But I can avoid the conversation, avoid the topic as much as possible, and I did that. And I feel like this might be similar for you. I'm a Pisces, but I have some notable Aries placements, so I'm thinking this might be doable. That might be the strategic side of Aries, kind of like, not letting use this against me. I feel like I'm also questioning, like, is this gonna be worth it in the long run? Is this gonna make sense in the long run? Do I feel like I have to stay here? If I walk away, how much is this gonna damage? I feel like I got that over there too. It's a heavy situation. It's heavy. There's a change coming in. We got to be realistic about the change. The change is coming in. Okay. There's a change coming in. I know that, but the Lover's card and then the Ten of Pentacles starting to show back up. I don't like this, only because I feel like it depends on perspective. Things are going back or things are getting better. It's not going to be what it was. You have to create a new ideal. The situation is improving, yes. And it's not going to be what it was, but it's kind of like you have to rebuild it and see what's coming your way and what can you build in your benefit. I'm worried about this because when it comes back very strong, and I get that there's this misconceived notion that it's going to go back to the way it was. Like we're starting to head back to the way it was, and somebody might flat out say that. Oh yeah, we're going back to the way it was, Aries. You like that, right? We're going right back to the way it was because everything worked better and we were doing so much better then. So we're going right back to the way it was. It's not. It's definitely not. Does not mean you can't love it again, but it's not going to be what it was. We need to be on that. Like, don't expect it to go back where it was. I just feel like they're saying be careful of that. It's not going to go back to where it was. Where it is going to go, it's going to take some work. And things are going to be definitely still different, but it can go more to your advantage. Find your advantages. Find what works for you. Reconstruct it the way that works for you. As long as you have the proper mindset, you can flourish in this. But I keep getting like somebody's pushing, like we're going back to the way it was. It's not. It's really not. And they might believe that themselves. That's the kicker. They are saying it, and they might believe it. This reminds me of like multi-level management. It's kind of like, the manager you deal with is like the fifth one down on the rung. And maybe they were told that. And maybe somebody above that told that to them, whatever. They might buy into it. They might believe it. They're still wrong. It's not going to be that way. As long as you're open to it and you realize that, you'll be all right. Because I feel like if you hold to it too strongly, you're going to be like, they lied to me. They lied to me and that ticks me off. They bought into something. They believed something that was untrue. So I feel like whoever's telling you that, if they are, they were lied to as well, but they bought into it. Hook, line, and sinker is what I'm getting. So if you kind of have more of a pulled back energy, kind of like, you know what, I know they believe it, but doesn't mean I believe it. Roll with it that way. Because I've dealt with a lot of people in life where you just kind of catch on that, like, you know, they believe pretty much anything you tell them. And I'm like, I shouldn't take their word for it because clearly it doesn't take much to convince them. So I got to be careful and be like, all right, they believe it and that's them. I'm not going to fight them on that. I'm not going to contest it. I'm not going to even question it. I'm just going to realize, yeah, they believe it and that's them. Doesn't mean I do. Keep that in proper perspective for you. Because there is good things coming in and things coming in very randomly, judgment going in a positive way, but like as it keeps building back up, there's going to be random changes that are going to be very notable. Judgment will go in everybody's favor the way it needs to, but still it's not going to be what it was. This is in the environment. There's things are going to change. Things are definitely going to change. You might want to have... What is this? Well, that's not... Okay. There are some pieces of this situation that are not going to fall away. This makes me feel like when we were starting this, like there were certain boundaries, there were certain rules. There will still be some boundaries and some rules. I just don't feel like they're identical to what they were. Keep that in mind. So boundaries and rules will still be a part of this situation, but not like they were before. Once you learn them for what they are, once you see them for what they are, and you're like, okay, these are those boundaries and rules, then you can kind of like, all right, let me play with that a little bit. You know, test the water, see what you can get away with. Especially if this is a corporate situation, that's how I wouldn't feel bad about it. I don't know. Judge me, whatever you got to do. Especially if it's a corporate situation, because that's what people do. They play the game. Test it and see what you can get away with. Use your brain with it. You know you will. Just do what you got to do. Check with other people. See what other people got away with. Test those boundaries. See what other people got away with and do it yourself. Just be careful. Be careful where you take it. I don't know what they're saying with that because I'm getting you can have a great outcome. It's not going to be what it was. It's going to evolve. But when there's new boundaries and new rules, I get test it. Test it on your own terms. See what other people have done. If other people are getting away with something, you might as well too. I don't know. I know that sounds really shady, but I keep getting... If it's the nature of the beast, which... I keep getting corporate flashes of different places I've worked. Like, you know, people play games. And it's not fair that you miss out because you're playing it straight-laced. If other people are playing games, you might as well have it work to your advantage too. Just keep it to yourself. I don't know. Does that bother Aries? I mean, not for nothing. If that's how the rules here work, if people are doing what they're doing and they're getting away with it, why shouldn't you have your fair share? Does that make it fair or not? I don't know. It's for you to answer. I'm sure I'll see it in the comments if you don't like it. But I'm kind of like, if other people are playing bullshit and getting away with it, there's no reason you should be playing it straight-laced. Especially because it's like, this is how I'm seeing it. This is maybe the hard part. If there's rules, but they're only rules for certain people, well, if I'm going to be one of those certain people that those rules don't apply for. I mean, if it doesn't apply for those people, I'm going to just decide it's not going to apply for me either. I'm going to play the same way. Might as well. I keep going there. I don't know. You guys got to decide for yourself. If this reading is hitting, you will decide for yourself what you're going to will or will not do. First of all, they're saying have a realistic view about it. The person who's telling you it's going to be the same, maybe they bought into it, don't buy into it. And when the new rules show up, make those rules work to your advantage. And watch what other people are doing and make sure that you have it to your advantage too. There's no reason for you to play it straight-laced if hardly anybody else is either. I just keep getting that. Especially in a corporate environment, because like sometimes people just make rules because they just want to feel special. I'm sorry, but I feel like that happens. So if they want to have their special rules, they can enjoy them special rules themselves. You don't have to go along with it. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.